Àlbert were what you'd call thwarted. He had long had an ambition which were to save up and go to Australia. The saving up, that was the itch. He'd a red money box on the pot shelf, a post office thing made of tin. But as with him and his dad and the bread knife, well, it never had anything in. He were properly held up for bobbins, as the folk in the mill used to say, till he hit on a simple solution. He'd go as a young stowaway. He studied the sailing list daily, and at last found a ship as would do. SS Tosser, a freighter from Fleetwood, via Cape Horn to Woolloomooloo. He went off the next evening to Fleetwood, and found her there loaded and cold, slipped over the side in the darkness, and downstairs and into the hold. The hold, it were choked up with cargo. He groped with his hands in the gloom, squeezed through bars of what felt like grating, and found himself plenty of room. Some straw had been spilled in one corner. He thankfully threw himself flat. He thought he could hear someone breathing, but he was too tired to fret about that. When he awoke, they were in mid-ocean. He turned, and in the light, which were dim, looked straight in the eyes of a lion that were lying there looking at him. His heart came right up into his tonsils, and he gazed at that big yellow face. Then it smiled, and they both said together, "Well, isn't the world a small place?" The lion was none other than Wallace. He were going to Sydney too, to fulfil a short starring engagement in a cage at Taronga Park Zoo. As they talked, they heard footsteps approaching. "Someone comes," whispered Wallace. "Quick, hide." He opened his mouth to the fullest, and Àlbert sprang nimbly inside. 'Twere Captain on morning inspection. When he saw Wallace shaming to doze, he picked up a straw from his bedding and started to tickle his nose. Now Wallace could never stand tickling. He let out a mumbled roar, and before he could do out about it, he sneezed out Àlbert on floor. The captain went white to the wattles. He said, "I'm a son of a gun." He heard of beasts bringing up children, but it was the first time he'd seen it done. He soon had the radio crackling and flashing the tale far and wide of the lad who set out for Australia, stowaway in the lion's inside. The quay, it was jammed with reporters when they docked on Australian soil. They didn't pretend to believe it, but 'twere too good a story to spoil, and Àlbert soon picked up the language. When he first saw the size of the fruit, there were more by gum or champion. It were wacko, right to, and new beaut. They gave him a wonderful fortnight. Then, from a subscription they made, sent him back as a parcel for Britain. Carriage forward, and all exes paid.